boys and girls. Welcome back to the drive-thru for a special pep rally edition of the drive-thru. Let's hear it. All right, not bad for first bell. That's not bad at all. All right, this video is brought to you by Aviators Football. We will dominate the Bombers tonight. Abominate the Bombers. I legitimately don't like St. X, just so you know.
Oh, because you went to Mullen.
I did. I like Elder. I don't. And I had two guys in my wedding from St. X. But, and my best man is like the head of the art department at St. X. Maybe I do like St. X. But like obviously inside of my blood, not so much. I do. Alright, we're going to do two of these together. Once again, the directions are the hard part. Look how many words there are there. Okay? So, this one is in standard form. That's nice. How do we know it's in standard form? It's going from the highest power to the lowest power. So, what is our degree?
3.
It is 3. Excellent. Now, let's think of this. What's the degree of a line? 1. How many turns does a line have? None. Right? It doesn't turn, which is what makes it a line. Okay. What's the degree of a parabola? 2. How many turns does a parabola have? So what's my answer here? This is going to be a 2. Okay? There we go. We're learning. What's the name by degree? This is a cubic. I think that's the least important piece of knowledge that we're going to go over. Okay? All right. Now, we can name it a different way. So, like, remember that, like, a triangle could be acute, but it could also be isosceles? It was 2 different classifications. That's what we're doing here. So, if we name it by the degree, it's cubic. If we name it by the number of terms, how many terms do we have? So, what's that called? A trinomial. Okay? All right. End behavior. Is this even or odd? Is it positive or negative? So this is going to be one of those, right? So I'll say start low, end high. Is that how I've been saying it this week? Or low to high?
Yeah, I think you said down and up.
Down to up, negative to positive. You could honestly just draw this there. Any words that describe that will work. Okay? I think that will work for me. Factored form. Okay, so now we're going to do some math. When it says always factor out the GCF first, that's when I do this. Okay, I factored out an X. Now, we're doing a riddle here, looking for 2 numbers that multiply to be positive 16 and add to be negative 8. Anybody? Excellent. Okay, so I'll write that here. Y equals x times x minus 4 times x minus 4. All right, so what are my zeros? You don't want to write it as y equals x times x minus 4 squared only because that's not completely factored. But if it didn't ask for the factored form, then you could definitely write it that way. Okay? So our zeros are 0, 4, and write the 4 again. Now, I think what that means, if you remember, is that this point right there is going to be at a 4. Because that's where it changes. I think that's what's going to be happening when we graph it. But we'll take a look at our graphing calculator. All right, multiplicity. Okay, we'll just write 2. All right, we'll write TWO, 2 4s. That's all that means. Which one has more than 1, I think? All right, And then we'll get to the relative max and the relative min after we graph it. Yes? From this x right here. Great question. Okay? If we did 0 times -4 times -4, the answer would be 0. Huge. That is a big save. All right, we got y equals, it's probably easiest to type in just the way they gave it to us, so I'll type in x squared. Can you hit the lights for me, Jack? I'm sorry, guys. I just can't see this thing. Yep, exactly. X cubed. Oh, dear. All right, let's start over. Y equals x cubed minus 8x squared plus 16x. All right, I'm going to go zoom 6. I don't think on the video you can see this, but something tells me. What happened? Yep. Let's go back to y equals. Do second on off. Bummer. I'm going to pause the video here. All right, back to live action. So, I don't know if sometimes this helps on the video. You might be able to see it, but we'll copy it over, okay? Here's what we probably want to do to find this point right here. That's a relative maximum. So go to second, trace. Now we're going to hit maximum. Hit enter. Enter again. Enter. The maximum is at, okay, so x equals 1.3 repeating, and y equals 9.5. We'll call it that. 1.3 comma 9.5. Okay, I'm going to go back to my, okay, now we want to find the relative minimum. I don't think we need the graphing calculator to find our relative minimum. Can you guys tell me what our relative minimum is based on the information? Yes, it's 4 comma 0. Okay, and now we just sketch that the best we can. So we know that it hits here and it touches there. We know that the relative max is at 1 1/3 comma 9.5. Just get that kind of close. And not bad. Okay? You guys okay with that? It doesn't really matter. It's about the process. The question was, how many decimal places do you want us to go to? If you had this right, I'd be so pumped. Okay? That's a lot of stuff. All right, we're going to do one more together, and we'll turn you guys loose on this. Just so you know where this is going, it's pretty typical from here. Math Excel on Monday, quiz on Tuesday. If you're going to want to take the quiz early, you can. If not, you'll just take it when you get back from break if you're on that field trip. Okay? All right. This is a factor by grouping 1 because there are 4 terms. So it says y equals, you could turn the lights back on for now, x cubed minus 3x squared minus x plus 3. Since there are 4 terms, I think that's how we're going to do this. What goes into both the first 2 terms? X squared. X does go into it. It's just not the biggest thing. And you get x minus 3. So now I want to make this look like an x minus 3. So what should I factor out of it? You guys are on top of it. And then both of these 2 terms contain an x minus 3. So I can rewrite it as x minus 1 times x minus 3. Sorry, x squared minus 1. Now, this is a little tricky Do you remember how to factor the difference of squares? If not, can you please consider this thing to be x squared plus 0x minus 1? Because that is factorable. Two numbers that multiply to be negative 1 and add to be 0. Yep. So we rewrite this as x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. Okay? All right, so what degree is this? It's third. Again, number of turns will be 2. Name by degree is still cubic. Number of terms for this one, let's see. This is a quadranomial. I have no idea if I spelled that right. I think it's probably maybe quadro. I don't know. Quadri. Maybe quadri with an I. Anyone? Okay. It's still like this. Low to high. Factored form, x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. What are my zeros? 1, negative 1, and 3. Multiplicity, none, meaning we don't have any repeats. You get a 1, a negative 1, and a 3. Okay? Good morning, Mr. Weigel. Good luck. Absolutely. Okay, so now we pop this thing in. What happened? Shocked? Did you crack her back? Just did that? Oh, I'm jealous. All right, I think this might be easier to type in this way. I don't know. I'll just show you. It doesn't matter how you type it in. X plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. Just to show you that it doesn't matter how you type it in. Jack, go ahead and hit the lights real quick. Oh my gosh. Let me just try this real quick, see if this allows the computer to see it. Okay, so relative max. Again, second trace. We want to find the maximum. Get over on this side of it, hit enter. Go to this side of it, hit enter. Take a guess. Sure. Negative 0.5 comma positive 3.1. Sorry, negative 0.15 comma positive 3.1. And almost done with the video. Second trace. We want to calculate the minimum this time. There should be a whole chapter on the water bug. It should be the first chapter. It's the most important feature of the class so far. And 2.15 comma negative 3.1. Okay? All right, real quick. That's the end of the problem. How about a little what to do when you don't know what to do? Okay? So let's say you didn't know how to do this. You didn't know how to factor it by grouping, and you wanted to get to this answer. All you would do is go to your calculator, hit second, trace. Now you want to calculate the zeros. I'll just go left to right. So I'll start over here. I'm going to move fast here. Enter. Enter. Guess. Notice, there's one of our zeros, -1. So you could write that down right there, okay? And then you do it again. Second, calc. We want to calculate the zeros. We're going to find another one. Go over here. Enter. 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 There's your other one. X equals 1. We would write that down. And then we would do it one more time. Enter. 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 3. Now, once you had that, once you knew that this were your zeros, then hopefully you can understand from what we've done in class that we would write this as y equals x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 3. And that's the factored form. That's how you can use your graphing calculator to factor it. Got it? Boom!